Welcome, dear listener, to the segment Spirituality and the Brain at Kardec Radio. I am your host, Vanessa Anceloni. Each and every week, we are going to talk about how science is discovering new features about the brain and how it matches so much the Spiritist teachings, and not only that, but how it leads us to live a better life. Allan Kardec himself, in the Gospel According to Spiritism, talked about the importance of caring for the body and the spirit. This is in the chapter 12, item 11. And he mentions that it is very important to care for the body because it depends on it to be incarnated. And André Luiz himself, regarding the brain in the book Evolution in Two Worlds, talks about on chapter 9, part 1, that the brain is the wonderful nest of the mind. So we need to know more about the brain, and we need to know more about ourselves. The topic of today is new neurons, new ability. You probably have heard of the expression, old dogs don't learn new tricks. This is very limiting, and actually it is not true, because science has recently proved that as we age, we keep on learning, and we have physiologically the ability to learn. Fred Gage, the renowned neuroscientist at the University of California, San Diego, actually in 2002, proved in a beautiful published paper that though we may be aging, if we expose ourselves to the new, we can raise new neurons in our brains. And it's conditioned to the fact that we need to expose ourselves to the new. But this for us in Spiritism is not new at all, because André Luiz, in the book Evolution in Two Worlds, chapter 9, part 1, he says the following: the neurons are born and renew themselves millions of times in the physical and non-physical planes, structuring the brains. So here we are, dear listener, learning that our physical body, as an expression of the mind, actually can accommodate itself to the new, irrespective of the age. Of course, science talks much about the critical window in which in our childhood we're more susceptible to learn new things. But that susceptibility does not stop there. We're actually able to learn throughout our lives, because there is an ability in our brain that neuroscience talks about, which is called neuroplasticity. And this means that our brain is able of being molded according to our experiences. For the longest time, we've heard that we are byproduct of our genes. And actually, most recently, through this new approach, which we call epigenetics, we've got to know that we are not a simple byproduct of our genes. Our environmental experiences will shape up the expression of the genes. So even though you may be born with a certain gene, you may not develop a certain ability or a disease. It's according to your exposure that will trigger that either ability or a disease in itself. So it's beyond just a determined approach. So in that way, we'd like to give you a take-home message. Your brain is the nest of your mind. And as André Luiz says, the wonderful nest of your mind. You can command your powerhouse in the physical body to change, to accommodate itself to the new. All you need to do is, 1, challenge yourself to the new. Don't do the same old stuff every day, because when you do the same old stuff, you're not boosting the capacity of your brain. Read new books. Listen to different messages. Learn also how to develop new tasks irrespective of your age group. Never tell yourself, I'm not capable of this or that or the other. Always tell yourself that it is possible. Like Chico Xavier, when he was 56 years of age, he challenged himself to learn English. He came to the United States, had English classes and helped much in the beginning of the translations of the Spiritist books that he sent to a friend in Brazil, and was recently published in the Spiritist magazine, issue 22. Just go to www.spiritistmagazine.com and you read the whole article we're talking about. Also, Divaldo Franco, when he was 70 years of age, he actually challenged himself to learn to work on a computer. And here you have a man who is very busy, who is very engaged in his mission, but still he found time, and also he challenged himself to learn the new. So here we have some examples on how to go to another level. Also remind yourself of using both sides of your body. Try often to not only use the same hand to do everything, but challenge yourself to new tasks with your other side of the body as well, because in that way you're telling your right and left hemisphere to build new connections, and in that way we're going to live a much more fulfilled life and prevent diseases, neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer, etc. Well, this is it for today, dear listener. We hope you have enjoyed, and we'll be back next week with spirituality and the brain. Should you have questions or comments, just write to us at kardecradio@gmail.com.